am telling you that
I don't agree.
Politics. Where is good governance?
Everyone is a political animal.
I don't like politics.
But I love political voices.
Political Voices exclusively on Dream FM, 9 o'clock in the morning, Monday to Friday.
Honorable Wabezugu is smiling, and I'd like to ask you this question. Talk us through the issue of devolution of powers and how it can be properly accomplished in Nigeria, if it is possible actually to accomplish that in Nigeria.
You see, we have, first and foremost, I like to begin by looking at the preamble to the Nigerian 1999 Constitution. If you look at the preamble, it says that we, the people, that's the people of this country, that we sat together and gave to ourselves this Constitution. That's the preamble. Look at it. I agree that preamble does not form a part of the Constitution, but then that is the history. That's the root of the Constitution. It's saying that all of us sat together. It never took place. What happened was that the military junta in 1998 just wrote the Constitution and gave to us. Because if you look at what happened in the United States, in the American Constitutional Convention, for instance, in 1779, the people came together. Those persons who decided to found a country called America, they came together, and the various states that were independent entities, independent countries, sovereign nations, they came together and said, we want to come together and be a country. The state of Pennsylvania did not have to be the same size. It didn't have to be to measure at all with the state of California or the state of New York or the state of whatever. There are 50 states there. They didn't have, there is no rationale. These are independent countries that decided to come together. And that is why, if you look at what they have there, which we have said that we are copying. We copy the ones we like, and we refuse to copy the ones we do not like. The problem is that we give ourselves a law, a set of laws we call Constitution, and we can't implement it. Now, the Constitution in Section 4 created the legislative powers, and that made the Nigerian legislature the first branch of government. It is the People's Parliament. It is the engine room of democracy. Under the American Constitution is Article 1. So it's also the first branch of government there. And that is the only thing that differentiates a democracy from a military dictatorship. Because during military dictatorships, they just take away legislative powers and combine it with the executive powers and still allow the judiciary to exist. Although they still do enact their some laws, doing some that is clipping the wings of the judiciary in certain aspects, saying they cannot inquire into the legitimacy or the validity of a law that is made, a decree that's made by the military junta. And so, if you now look at it, the Nigerian Constitution in Section 4 created the exclusive legislative list, which will be under the control of the federal legislature, and now said the rest. There is nothing specifically that is referred to as residual powers under the 1999 Constitution, but you have concurrent legislative powers, which the Constitution in Section 4 said the state can exercise legislative power over. But remember again that the same Section 4 says that if there is a law by the federation and there's also a law by the state in respect of anything contained in the concurrent list, that the law of the federation will override that of the state. But the issue is the Nigerian state working as it is? It's certainly not working. You have seen now that we have just discussed the issue of Zamfara State that decided to commit an illegality. And that illegal, very soon now, it will become a norm because ar gbakwara ahụ omenala. And so if, like you have seen now, the federation is not working with 68 items in the exclusive list, there is the need to tinker seriously with that list that is assigned to the federation. The exclusive list needs to be pruned down to not more than 10 items. Not up to 10 items. If you prune it down and ensure that every state is in control of its resources, let us now say that when we prune this thing down to about 5, the federation will still be making money from something like the customs, because the customs, I believe, should still be under the control of the federation. If they're making money from customs, to a great extent, that will be able to do most of the things that the federation will be doing. But then you can now say each state contribute 5%. In the First Republic, each state was contributing, I'm not sure, each region was contributing about 15, I'm not very sure now, about 15% of their resources or so, or 30, I think 30. But we don't need a state to control to contribute up to 30% of its resources to the federation. That's why I said the list should be seriously pruned down. If you have defense, that is from external aggression, you have currency, you have customs, you have 2-3 others. So that's sufficient.
I'm asking you specifically, to achieve this, do we need a constitutional amendment?
The way it is, it must come by a constitutional amendment. You cannot talk about, you can't say that you throw away the Constitution, because the moment you throw away the Constitution, what you will have is anarchy. There won't be a law again. So you cannot throw away the Constitution unless it comes by a revolution. If it does not come by a revolution, what you will do is to do a constitutional amendment, and there is nothing difficult in it. The Constitution, by Section 9, subsection 2, give the National Assembly, in fact, the people of this country, the powers to amend any part of the Constitution except Chapter 4 and Section 8. Chapter 4 is Sections 33 to Section 46 and deals on fundamental human rights. Section 8 deals on boundary adjustment. So anything outside Chapter 4 and outside Section 8, you can amend by Section 9, subsection 2. Of course, we know that Nigeria operates a rigid constitution, which makes the process of amendment a bit Herculean. But the process of amending Chapter 4 or Section 8 is far more difficult than the process of amending the rest of the parts of the Constitution. But whatever happens, whatever part of the Constitution it is, it can be amended.
Listen, I am telling you that
I don't agree.
Politics. Where is good governance?
Everyone is a political animal.
I don't like politics.
But I love political voices.
Political Voices exclusively on Dream FM, 9 o'clock in the morning, Monday to Friday.